I used to think that providing for a family was enough, that if you showed up, paid the bills, kept the lights on, and gave kids a life that didn't wobble under their feet, they would naturally recognize the intention behind it. But entitlement has a way of drowning out gratitude. And 3 weeks ago, in the home I've spent nearly a decade building, I learned just how quickly a person can be recast from provider to intruder. My name is Mark. I'm 46, and for 8 years I've been the man holding together a household that apparently believes my voice should stop at the doorway, even though my wallet never has. Jenna, my wife, and her teens. Luke, now 17, and Haley, 15, moved in with me when the kids were still small enough to think cereal counted as a balanced dinner. We got married 6 years ago. I thought that meant unity, commitment, the merging of lives into something solid. Their biological father, Derek, floated in and out like a gust of cold air. Sporadic child support, sporadic visits, but very consistent Instagram posts implying he was Father of the Year. I told myself it didn't matter. I wasn't trying to replace anyone. I was simply trying to be the adult who stayed. When Jenna and I first got serious, she laid it all out. The financial mess Derek left behind, the emotional instability, the juggling of two jobs to keep her kids fed. I looked at her and thought, I can help, I want to help. And I did. I took on the mortgage. I paid for school, groceries, sports, birthdays, braces, therapy, gas money, car insurance. I covered ADHD medication, orthodontist appointments, and everything else that generally appears when you raise teenagers. I didn't complain. Love isn't measured in receipts, but in consistency. And consistency was the only thing these kids had been missing. Then came the Thursday night that shifted everything. I just crawled out of a 10-hour workday. On the way home, I picked up Luke's prescription, grabbed groceries, and found supplies for the school project Haley had mentioned once in passing. I stepped through the front door already exhausted, but the Wi-Fi router was blinking its little orange distress signal again. So down I went, tools scattered beside me, knees on hardwood, shoulders tight, as I tried to coax the internet back to life. While I was half buried under that cabinet, I heard them, Luke and Haley, talking loud enough to echo. They didn't know I was there, or they didn't care. And then it hit me, not as a shout, but as a clean, sharp sentence that cut through me with the precision of a scalpel. I'm sick of him acting like he runs everything, Luke said. Haley laughed, mean, dismissive. He needs to stop overstepping. He's not our dad. Overstepping. That was the word. Not a complaint about something I'd actually done wrong, but the accusation that I had no right to act like a parent in a home I paid for, in a life I had helped build from the ground up. I didn't storm in. I didn't yell. I stood slowly, brushed sawdust off my jeans, and walked into the living room with a calmness even I didn't expect. Overstepping, I said. Interesting choice of words. The color drained from their faces. They stammered excuses, just talking, didn't mean it, whatever. But clarity had already snapped into place inside me, cold and absolute. I went upstairs without another word. That night, I slept better than I had in months. There is a certain peace that settles over you when someone finally shows you exactly where the line is, and you decide to step back from it. The next morning, I made coffee. Then I sat across from Jenna and told her everything I'd heard. Her emotions flickered. Shock, anger, embarrassment, a defensive spark. Then finally the quiet realization that this situation didn't come out of nowhere. What do you want to do? She asked. I want to stop overstepping, I said. If they want space from my authority, they can have space from my support as well. She nodded slowly. Okay, I'll back you. And she did. For the next 2 hours, I dismantled the invisible scaffolding I had spent years reinforcing. I called the school. Tuition would no longer come from me. I transferred car insurance to Jenna's name. I removed the kids from my phone plan, putting them on prepaid lines that would need to be refilled by someone else. I transferred ownership of the second car to Jenna. And then I changed the Wi-Fi password. When the kids came home, the meltdown was immediate. What's the Wi-Fi password? Luke demanded. I'm not sure sharing it would be appropriate, I said. I wouldn't want to overstep. The next days were a slow-moving avalanche. Assignments went missing because they couldn't submit them. Their data ran out. The car sat unused. Their father, hero of Instagram, savior of holidays, refused to contribute to tuition because money's tight. The house filled with a new kind of silence, one heavy with realization rather than resentment. And I finally rested. On day 8, the three of them sat waiting for me when I came home, like a tribunal. The kids apologized, not with teenage sarcasm, but with the shaky sincerity of two people who'd finally understood the structure holding up their lives. I didn't rush to comfort them. I didn't cave. Respect isn't an apology, I told them. It's changed behavior. And slowly they began to change. Luke got a job, started paying for his own gas, even asked me carefully if I would help with college applications. Haley started helping with cooking, chores, and left me a note one morning. Thank you for not giving up on us. You're not just mom's husband, you're our family. I kept that note. We're still imperfect. We still argue. But the dismissiveness is gone, replaced by something sturdier, something earned. Jenna and I are stronger too. Partners again, not manager and mediator. And as for Derek, he sent Luke a late birthday text. Luke ignored it. So now I'm left with the question that still lingers at the edges of this whole experience. Was stepping back the right thing, or did I go too far? Should I have ignored the comments and kept holding everything together behind the scenes? Or did they need to feel the absence of what they took for granted? I know what I believe, but I'm curious. What would you have done in my place?